Yeah, it's the daily go get optimism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off left lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. You think it wouldn't, but we do is tonight, but it's the day. Hey, we think it's gonna be okay. You know we do our things our way. What you say now? Hold on, y'all. Where we at? I'm losing my chat. It's the daily. Yeah, there we go. Everything is going to be all right, and it shows I'm here, and I'm down with the pros, and I know that y'all came through to listen to this thing. Whoa! How y'all feeling tonight? I hope y'all feeling real good. I hope that your game tight. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should. Just like I am, you know that we don't run scam. He carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going all on your side. And Stacy, Yvette White, what's going on, yo? What's up tonight? How you feeling? Glad to see you come through. Appreciate me some you. Tonight on the Daily Go Get a Business show, we are talking about spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents. Now, what y'all know? Now, we expect children to be spoiled brats. You know, the kids that always got whatever they wanted. And when they didn't get what they wanted, they acted out, act a fool. You know, fall out on the floor, stomp they feet, cried, just acted a fool. And what made them into brats was that when they acted out like that, they got what they wanted. Have you ever known a kid who was a spoiled brat and that acted all crazy when they didn't get what they want? They got an ass whooping and still got what they wanted. Y'all ever know any kids like that? Well, I have. And guess what happens a lot of times? Those kids turn into those adults. So we're talking about spoiled brat parents. So it's a little bit of role reversal, but when you really think about it, it's not role reversal, because when spoiled people get together with other people who accommodate them, then if they have children, then guess what? You was just a spoiled brat who had children. Now, does that mean that your children are going to be spoiled? Not necessarily. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason that your kids may not be spoiled, even though you are a spoiled brat, well, actually, there are a variety of reasons. And you know what? I'm not going to get into them right now, but I'm going to say one of them. One of the reasons why your children may not be spoiled brats when you are a spoiled brat is because you are selfish. So you always got what you wanted, but you may not have had any interest in making sure that anybody else got what they wanted. Did you hear me? Or did you feel what I'm talking about? We gonna turn it out. It's the DG show on this Power Monday. I want y'all to scream and shout, but not because y'all spoiled, not because y'all egg is hard boiled, not because you have to do more toil, but because this thing is busting and everything is going to be all right. We start discussing. It's 319-527-6199. That's a number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. That's the number to call if you want to call into the show and give your 2 cents. Because I know plenty of y'all, all of y'all know some spoiled brat parents. You may not have ever heard it put that way. Mm-hmm. You may have just said they were spoiled, but you may not have looked at it like they were spoiled brat parents. Well, you're going to do that tonight. We going to do it. We arm in arm up in this thing. Power Monday all up in your area. My man, my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing, max and chill. It's good to see you coming through, my brother. That's the deal. And I'm going to tell you how I feel. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily, the daily go get a mism show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. I am your host, Sun752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. It is the Daily Go Get a Business Show. All up in the area. All up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feel like real men and women should. We gonna get this thing piss our piz knopping. We gonna get it piz knopping. So today we talking about spoiled brat parents. Who do you know who is a spoiled brat parent? What would a spoiled brat parent do? How does a spoiled brat parent act? Who accommodates and creates a spoiled brat parent? Well, if you really think about it, it's pretty easy to come into parenthood as a spoiled brat. That may be the way that you came into parenthood. You know, you could have been the type of person that was used to getting what you wanted, whether you are the man or the woman in that situation. So if you a man, you a spoiled brat. You might be on the tip of like, no, I'm not going to let no girl say no to me. Not because you are a sexual assailant, not because you take the pussy, per se, but you may be the type that pursues, and you are so persistent that you will do anything to get the girl of your choice. So whether you have to give money, whether you have to beg, borrow, steal, whether you have to set it up, whether you have to do some type of Cyrano de Bergerac type shit, whatever it is that you do, that you have to do, you did it in order to get the girl who was the apple of your eye. So in that being a spoiled brat and then getting with her as a spoiled brat, once you got with her, you may not have wanted to treat her right because it was like a game of cat and mouse. And after you caught the mouse, it was like, well, I ain't eating this mouse. I just wanted to play with it. It was more fun when it was running. We was having fun. Caught the mouse. Now you're treating the mouse like shit. But during that time you was treating her like shit, you busting nuts all up in her. Guess what? Seed came out of it. Now you're a spoiled brat parent. Now, a spoiled brat male parent, a spoiled brat father. How would a spoiled brat father act? Now, some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all have dealt with men. More than likely, y'all have dealt with men who were spoiled, used to getting what they wanted. Mama's boys. As soon as things don't go their way, they like the boy who brought the basketball on the basketball court but couldn't play. Well, if y'all don't let me in the game, I'm taking my ball. Man, take your ball then. But yeah, that type shit. So a spoiled brat dad might be that exact same way. Since, okay, he may father children, but as soon as things aren't going right with the baby mom or the wife, he wants to bail out. He wants a better situation. Spoiled brat. When things don't go his way, when he's not feeling like the undisputed king of his castle because he's not acting responsibly, now he wants to bail out. He wants to run away. He wants to complain to everybody. He don't want to pay no child support. He don't want to pay no spousal support. He don't want to help out. He don't want to come around. He wants to suck his teeth. He want to hang out in the streets. He wanna act like an irresponsible, spoiled brat like people have been letting him get away with. So he might cry. He might pout. He's definitely going to complain because he's a spoiled brat. And when he gets what he wants, yeah, everything is all right in the world. But as soon as things don't go his way, he wants to act like a pure D dickhead. See this cool water bottle? This one has a straw. So I keep messing up trying to. No, it don't work that way. This one, you just let it sit. You go. Nice cold water. Thermos type. It's dope. Emily Dunlap in the house. I said it. Emily and Sacré Jetois. Sacré JTX. Good to see me some you. And she says a spoiled brat boys always always mama's boys. Oh, are spoiled brat boys always mama's boy? No. But when you really think about it, that spoiling has to come from somewhere. So even if you're not a mama's boy, because you can be a spoiled brat and not be a mama's boy because you may disrespect your mother. You don't have to respect your parents in order for your parents to accommodate you at times when you probably shouldn't be accommodated. Some spoiled brats don't like their parents. They feel like their parents, we've all heard people fronting, acting like their parents didn't raise them. I raised myself. I did what I had to do for me. These be the same motherfuckers that had a car at 15. They didn't drive until they were 16. Spoiled brats. These are the same people who parents used to have to bribe them in order for them to get good grades or go to school or stay out of trouble or, spoiled brats. Good parents, but sometimes we can take good parenting to a fault. We can take it to a level that it doesn't need to go. But we're talking about spoiled brat parents. So a spoiled brat parent many times may not even be in the child's life. Like in the case that I was talking about with some men. Some fathers are spoiled and they're selfish, spoiled and selfish. And so they think that everybody should be able to take care of themselves except for themselves. That type shit. Everybody should be able to do for themselves and take care of themselves except them. They might always be in somebody's pockets. They always might have a scheme that they've been cooking up in order to make some money or whatever, and they need you to finance them. They need you to support them. They need you to be there. Are they ever there for you? But they want you to be there for them. Spoiled brat parents used to getting everything they want. So as soon as the kids don't act the way that the parents think that they should act, the parents want to act a stone cold fool. The parents want to act out. Have you ever seen, y'all gotta know what I'm talking about. I have seen spoiled brat parents. Got 3 or 4 kids and they spoiled. No, I mean the parents are spoiled. I ain't talking about the kids. They don't spoil people don't always spoil people. Yeah, it's not one of those things. How they say hurt people. Well, it doesn't always work that way when it comes to being spoiled. Sometimes being spoiled just leads to unnecessary and undue selfishness. So they're selfish to the point of they want everything for themselves, but they don't feel like they need to contribute anything. They don't feel like they need to do anything. They don't feel like they need to be there for anybody. So a lot of spoiled brat parents do not raise their kids. They drop their kids off at their mama house. Let big mama, nanny, granny, mom, let her watch the kids so you could go out and shake your ass all up in the club, making another kid. That type shit. And let big mama not want to babysit. Oh, all hell is going to break loose. Oh, you ain't got nothing to do. I don't see why you can't take care of your grandkids. You can't watch them. I got to do all this, that, and the third. You don't never help me out. She dropped them kids off at her mom's crib every single goddamn day. And I mean 7 days a week. You know how it is when the kids got a room at Big Mama house. Now, how the kids got a room at Big Mama house and Big Mama house still got grown kids at the house? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Them no good ass uncles still live at the crib. They ain't got their own spot. They moved in with a chick, had a couple of kids, that type shit. Maybe not even with that chick, a couple of other chicks, whatever. They fell on hard times, start smoking, being on drugs, alcohol problems, getting fired from jobs and shit. And they back at the crib. But your child got got a room at Big Mama house. Big Mama's carved out a room for her grandbaby. While you out in the club shaking your ass. While you laying up with some nigga. Spoiled brat parents. And when Big Mama get on you about being irresponsible, when she say, no, you got to get your shit together because you had these kids and you blah blah blah. You need to step up to the plate. You need to stop acting all crazy. Sniffing, chasing behind some dude and shit and blah 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 blah. He should be providing for you. Now you all mad. You need to stay out my fucking business, mom. You need to, and you ain't never treat me right. Oh, sometimes it's the straight disrespect, and sometimes it's, you ain't never do nothing for me. I asked you to do the simplest little shit, and you can't ever do that. Spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents. The type of parents whose parents will do for them because they figure that you have problems with depression and you already slit your wrist one time, took a bottle of pills another time, so they figure they better accommodate you before before a few days later they can't find you and shit, and they find you up in the spot, either bleeding out or laying out. Serious shit. I don't mean to joke about that, but it's real shit. It's real. Carol Chamber, let me favorita. Carol Chamber, favorita. How you feeling, man? Juno. So crazy. Oh, Rita Reyes. What's up, Rita? What's going on, Rita? Good to see me some you. It's so crazy. I says see, that's not the way you spell bout. You said they bought to be missing a few teeth. Oh, then you fixed it. You said, all right, you fixed it. But I was going to read it the way you wrote it first because that was organic. That was organic. That's what you get for trying to type too fast. I know how it be. All right, y'all. Make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel yet. 319-527-6199 if you would like to call in and give your 2 cents on the matter. This is Power Monday on the Daily Go Get It Business Show, and we're talking about spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents. Oh, yeah. It's going down tonight. 19th of the month. It's going down. Narcel says he'll pick up his PS4 and leave. Yes, a spoiled brat father will do that type shit. Now, listen, we only talking about spoiled brat parents tonight. We're not talking about spoiled brat kids, and we're not just talking about spoiled brat people. We are talking about specific spoiled brat parents. The type that have you like, what in the fuck is this? What kind of example are they showing to their children? And it's like I said, spoiled people don't always produce spoiled people. They may be hard as hell on the kids with they spoiled asses though. They spoil, but they want to be hard on the kids. And it's easy to be hard on the kids and deprive the kids of certain things when you're selfish. So you want everything you see, and you get mad and act a fool when you don't get what you want, but you quick to tell your own children, oh, you don't need that. Or you don't, why you even want that? You don't really want that. You just want that because somebody else had it, or because you seen somebody else with it. You understand what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So Clay says, see, you can't see when you type. Okay. The background be in the way with these white letters. Yeah, I mean, that's true. 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 I'm gonna let that slide. 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 Carol Chamberlain says, Norris Hill says the basement life. And Carol Chamberlain says, and Norris, I mean, really, you gotta be a sad excuse to want to live in the basement. Shit, the basement apartment sometimes be live, especially if you have a driveway and you have a garage entrance. So you have a private entrance. You ain't gotta walk your little smuts past the everybody watching TV in the living room. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. Them smuts you bring in that you smoke weed with, give pills to, sniff coke with, and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? While y'all practicing getting STDs and addictions, well, you got the back door entrance, the garage entrance, and you know, you're like, look. I ain't gotta march this dirty twat past my mom, introducing people and having a looking at you funny like another one. Huh. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you got the backyard basement entrance that lead to the driveway, the garage. You know, no, you don't even have to open the door for it. Just leave this shit unlocked. You just leave the back door unlocked. She come in. Yeah. You done already started your session drinking Cisco and puffing weed. You puffing the cess and drinking that mess. Spoiled brat. Yeah, living in the basement, living in your mama's basement it's an insult, but for the people who do it, it's a favorable position. Carol Chambers says, son, not in North Philly. Yeah, because in North Philly, there are very few areas in North Philly that have a driveway. But there are some areas like I live in Tioga, and they do have houses that have garages and the driveway around the corner, like around 20th and Pacific. Those houses on that side at 20th and Pacific coming off of Erie Avenue. Yeah, those houses have a driveway, and they have a back. You know, they have the garage. So there are some houses. It's just not a normal thing. But you know, if you grew up in West Oak Lane, you know what it is. A lot of the houses in West Oak Lane. This is Philly shit. For all my people who are listening who aren't from Philly, you know, pardon this local lingo, but you know, so. And if you grew up in Mount Airy, you know what it is. If you grew up in certain parts of Germantown, you know what it is. West Oak Lane, you know what it is. Now, South Philly, I'm not sure. I don't know if they have driveway areas in South Philly, but I think they do. Once you start going past the tracks, that's Washington Avenue for people who. Anyway, once you get past the tracks and start going down towards the stadiums, the houses get bigger, and they have they have the shit that South Philly people brag about. But, Anyway, spoiled brat parents, male and female, mama or daddy. Sometimes they will be spoiled, and they won't spoil their own children. They won't take care of their own children. They too spoiled. They are too much into themselves to take care of their kids. And they are probably 85% responsible for their children acting out of school, dropping out of school, getting in trouble, going to group homes, having to go to Glen Mills and Slayton Farms and Lafayette and all that, Hershey and all of that bullshit. Yeah, a lot of times these parents are responsible for them because they didn't give them the time and attention, and the guidance that they needed. So the kids acted out. That's how it happens. Because they was too busy being spoiled brats. So, they like, well, he got himself in the trouble, not being a leader, following behind the wrong crowd. Like, what the fuck was you doing while he was following behind the whole crowd? It don't sound like you made sure that he had to have his ass home before the street lights came on. It don't sound like that. Now do it. Why? Because you was too busy. You was too busy living your life. You was still young, living your life, getting high, fucking around, chasing behind niggas, chasing behind chicks, doing dumb shit, partying and bullshit, partying and bullshit. Spoiled brat parents, baby. Spoiled brat parents, baby. The kids. Spoiled brat parents, baby. This shit is real. It's real. So Canadian too. I says, like you had to do with a house full of people. Shit. Growing up, my house stayed full. It was only 3 of us in this big ass crib. But guess what? Every time you turned around, we had some of my father's peoples coming through. A whole family. Like I can see if our aunt came to stay with us for a little while, or uncle came to stay with us for a little while. We would have the aunt, her husband, 3 kids. Like, we moved the whole shop in. Like, a single parent I can see. But you move in a married couple? Rest in peace, my dad. But he was definitely about his family. He would let them come stay with us. So yeah, growing up, our house was full a lot, and we had to finance. That's the part I didn't understand. Like, I remember, like in 1970, I guess this was like 76, 77, some shit like that. And my aunt came down from New York, lived in Brooklyn, and they came down from Brooklyn to stay with us because my aunt from up in New York she wasn't well enough to be able to take care of herself anymore. And my grandmother had already passed a long time ago, before I was born. So not a long time before I was born, but before I was born. And so those kids, my aunt and my uncle, they came down to Philly to stay with my dad. My uncle came first. He was starting to get in trouble up in New York, and he turned his life around and all that kind of stuff. Went in the army, became a cop, then a narcotics detective, start shaking down drug dealers, and made a lot of money, that type of thing. He's an upstanding citizen. I love my uncle. Good going, uncle. But my aunt was married, had 3 children, 3 kids, all around my age. You know what I'm saying? So they came to stay with us in 76 or 77, whatever it was. And it was like, this shit was a crazy situation. The husband, my aunt, and my 3 cousins, they all stayed at the crib. So yeah, I've seen some shit in my life. It wasn't anybody think I was just spoiled beyond belief. Well, shit, let's just say I had to pay the piper. Plus, I had to work. My mom wasn't buying me no shell tops, and I needed them. I needed that. So bottom line is, when you grow up spoiled and you grow up not just spoiled, but you grow up a spoiled brat. Just because you have kids doesn't mean that you're going to snap into shape and start acting responsibly. Sometimes spoiled brat parents raise their kids actively, but they employ negative, they set negative examples of how to raise their kids. So let's say a spoiled brat mother may be the type to shake men down for money. Not necessarily out there being a hoe, but sometimes that. But manipulating men into giving them money all the time, and the kids are witnessing that shit. So whenever a sugar daddy or something like that ain't acting right, the kids know, oh, he ain't getting none tonight. That type shit. Or watch, his key ain't gonna work in the lock tonight. She gonna put the chain on. That kind of shit. That kind of shit. Setting a negative example. Directly teaching the girls how to be a little spoiled brats, and actually a little bit teaching them how to be a little sexually irresponsible. Showing them indirectly and sometimes directly how to hold back on the ass when you don't get what you want, and give up the ass just a little bit when you get what you want, but always remain in control. Always remain in control. What's going on, Robbie Robin Ming? My big sis Robbie Robin Ming is here to do what thinks she's something like a queen for a king. And speaking of king, my man King. What's going on, King? Thanks for coming on through. Thanks for doing the thing. This word. All right. Okay. Cal Chamberlain says, no, it's not really. Okay, wait. Hold up. Cal Chamberlain says, some would think that a spoiled brat. Wait. Some would think I was a spoiled brat and my children were spoiled brats too. Well, you know, sometimes people hate a little bit. And when you're a hater, you think everybody is spoiled. You never think that anybody got what they got by working or waiting and working or planning and building and that kind of stuff. You know, when you're a hater, you just think everybody just is given whatever they get by somebody else that has more. You're never going to get any credit from a hater. So don't even look for that. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Hey. So, you know, spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents. Like I said, y'all, 319-527-6199. Call 319-527-6199. Press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak. And then I'll call you out by your last 4 digits of your telephone number, and we can get on up in here. And you know what I'm saying? We can talk a little bit more in depth about these spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents. Always dropping the kids off for somebody. Always guilt tripping somebody. Yes, that's one thing that spoiled brats always do. Guilt trip you about not doing something for them. Always guilt tripping somebody. Well, I would do it for you. Well, last time I did that. Well, I did what you asked me to do. I don't see why you can't just do this. You wasn't doing nothing. You got extra money. You ain't spending it on nothing. You have everything. I have nothing. What's up, Tammy G? Thanks for coming on through. Yeah, that little manipulation. Spoiled brats are always trying to manipulate people. So when the spoiled brat is the parent instead of the kids, and have you ever seen kids trying to accommodate they spoiled brat ass parents? Have you seen it? You know how it is. Kids want to please their parents. Kids Kids have a sense of guilt. And sometimes the spoiled brat parents prey on that sense of guilt that children have. So children know if they are bad. Like, it's really unfortunate, but there have been some couples that were together and they broke up, and the kids blame themselves because the parents couldn't get it together and be together. So, I've heard kids say things like, maybe if we wasn't bad, mommy and daddy wouldn't be fighting and they would have stayed together. Like, they don't know. They're young and impressionable, and they may be dealing with spoiled brat parents who don't even give them enough instruction, guidance, and an explanation that sometimes adults just can't get it together and they're not on the same page. So it's sometimes a healthier situation for them to be apart than to be together, but that both parents love them dearly and equally. And we're still gonna raise y'all with a lot of love. Y'all was born out of love, y'all was created out of love, and y'all gonna be raised with it. But no, them spoiled brat parents won't do that. You know what spoiled brat parents will do? Blame the other parent. Well, you see, such and such ain't doing this for you, and I'm doing everything for you, and you should love me. And why y'all loving me? You know what you should do? You should do everything that I ask you to, even if the things that I'm asking you to do are out of bounds. Spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents will teach their children how to steal. They will. They will teach their children how to steal. They will teach their children to steal. Why? Because if you can get away with it and you can have the things that you want. If somebody won't give you what you want, then you have to make a move and get it yourself. No, I ain't say you had to work hard for it. You just have to work on it. Work on it. Work through it. Work around it. So when if they ain't looking, you take it. You take it while they ain't looking. Simple and plain. Carol Chamberlain says, I never had that luxury as a parent. Well, I mean, I guess you wasn't a hoe. But truth be told, a lot of hoes were spoiled brats too. A lot of them learned that, listen, all I got to do is, pull out a titty, show a little ass, spread my legs a little bit, or bend over, or open my mouth, and I get what I want. This shit is like a damn slot machine. All I gotta do is let him put it in the slot, and money comes out. Ching, ching. Put it in the slot. I got 3 holes. Go for it. Ching. Nah, this ain't $40. This ain't $40 snatch. Look, that's a white word for vagina. Snatch. This ain't no $40 snatch. This is high price, high quality snatch. I know it's high quality because, people keep paying for it. They keep paying for it. I'm going to be the first hoe out here, to smut my way rich. So, yeah, spoiled brat parents come in male and female. A lot of times, spoiled brat parents wind up on drugs. They abuse drugs. A lot of times. Not all the time, but you can best believe if they're spoiled brats, they're going to abuse something, because that's what being a spoiled brat is all about. It's all about. And just because you're a spoiled brat doesn't mean that you're happy. Let's not get it twisted. Just because you are a spoiled brat does not mean that you're happy. It can mean quite the opposite. You're a spoiled brat, but you never really feel like you get what you really want. You get things that you can get. So Clay says, I don't know. I didn't know that was a white word. When you hear black people, I never heard black people running around here calling no twat a snatch. What's a snatch? So that sounds like a rapist word. Snatch. What are you gonna do? Call it a taking? Yeah, you gonna give up some of that taking tonight. Yeah, I put the taking on the on the sink and got busy. Buck style. Shout out to all the dudes out there, that handle big joints and sat a big joint on the sink and things didn't work out too well. Hopefully you ain't have to call a plumber that night. But sometimes things can, and the walls come a tumbling down. Got the chick up on the sink, you think, and the walls come tumbling down. That's what that Puff the Magic Dragon shit. And the walls come a tumbling down. Snatch. White boys called it. He called the pussy snatch. Snatch. We gonna call it taken. From now on, we calling it taken. Yeah, that's right. Shout out to all the big chicks that tried to do something that only petites should be doing, but fuck it, you did it anyway. You know what I mean? You did it anyway. That's what home repairs is all about. Everybody in the car, we're going to Home Depot, Lowe's. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Don't let them skinny girls have all the fun. Don't let the skinny girls have all the fun. Cyndi Lauper said girls just want to have fun. She ain't say just little girls just want to have fun. She ain't say size 0 girls just want to have fun. Oh, size 0 girls just want to have fun. Want to have fun. 0 girls. Size 3. Yee. Robbie Big says, if my girls came home with money or something, I didn't give them. They behinds belong to me. I didn't play that. I hear that. You gonna give that chain back? How much this shit cost? This is a pretty big plate. But yeah, you giving that shit back. But right after we get it appraised. All right. King says, I thought white girls called it a cooler. A cooter? A cooter? Shoot, I've heard black people call it a cooter. Yes, heck, cooter. Cooter, that's like coochie. That's like coochie. You know what I'm saying? We was doing the oochie coochie. Anyway, yeah, spoiled brat girls, sometimes start doing the oochie coochie kind of young. Yeah, doing oochie coochie a little young. Little young. Not all the time, though. Not all the time. T. Carey Wright says, where the hell have you been? I've only heard black people say snatch. I've never heard any black people call pussy a snatch. And I can't imagine why they would. And I've only heard white boys call it a snatch. Cunt too. I've never heard a black person call pussy a cunt unless they were imitating white people. I don't even know what a cunt is. But it doesn't sound like something that would give you pleasure. Cunt. What is a cunt? I know if you call a white girl a cunt, you're going to have a problem on your hands. They do not like for you to call them that. It is very offensive in their world. A cunt? A cunt? He called me the C word. You're going to die. You're going to die. Emily says, I've never heard my people say snatch. Straight, I don't know what. Taki grew up in New York. You know what I mean? So all that amalgamation of people who ain't from there, they bring in all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't, in places like Philly where black people live amongst each other only, we don't fuck around like that. We don't We don't play such games. We don't. We don't. We got black mayors that get reelected. We don't do that one term shit here. You know what I mean? Black people, you know. We don't do that shit. That's how you have to. That's you have to. All right. T. Carey Wright says, I learned snatch in my early 20 years in Philly. Yeah, and those people from Philly probably came from New York just like you did. So, you know, look, we didn't even have Jamaicans in this city until like 1990. All right, like maybe like 1980, but they sure ain't had they ain't had no real presence. They was getting chased home and asked why they talk funny and that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Not that was right, but you know, my point is we're more ethnic down here. You know, we didn't have like Russians and shit like that. I'm like, Russians? Let me stop playing, but I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. You know, I mean, if you really want to talk, if you really want to get into it, in Philly, we call pussy cock. Like, yo, we getting some cock. We found out that white people say cock is dick. We was like, no, not around the way it ain't. Like, I got some cock last night, and it sure wasn't no boy. And we never called dick cock. Like, a cock. Like, that shit sounds totally white. Like, yeah, she sucked my cock. Here, suck my cock. Yeah, your cock feels so good. You what? Nah, babe. We not, no. Nah. So he was like, cock. Yeah, it's like her legs cocked open. Went right in. Ran up in her like Bruce Jenner. Y'all remember that, all my peoples from the 80s. I'm going to run up in her like Bruce Jenner. Yo, we used to say that shit all the time. Now look what happened to Bruce Jenner. Like, no, I'm not running up in her like Bruce Jenner. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm running up in her like Carl Lewis. Yo, I got some cock last night. It was good as shit. No, not that boy cock. No, the girl cock. Yo, all my people from Philly know what I'm talking about. I'm telling the truth. The cock was pussy. You know, we get with white boys, they talking about cock dick. Like, nah, not around the way, man. We don't say, and that shit came from down south. My dad told me down North Carolina where he came from. He said the cock was pussy. So what happened? The migration from the south came up the East Coast, up farther up north. But evidently something happened when they went to New York. Too much European influence in New York. We didn't play that shit. So you know, Philly is down south to New York. Of course, I'm moving down south. Where? Philly? Oh, that's what's up. You got a crib down there. Yeah, that's what's up. Finally get out of projects. This good shit. All right, but enough of that. Spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents. Spoiled brat parents. What are we going to do about these spoiled brat parents? Have you identified the spoiled brat parents? Now, some parents have really done a great job of parenting. And it doesn't mean that they weren't spoiled brats, but it does mean that because they were spoiled brats and used to getting what they wanted, they pushed that type of energy into their children. So they wanted their children to be presented well. So they may have They may have made sure that they went to good schools, went to the schools, did well in the schools, were raised to be respectful and all that kind of stuff, raised them to be industrious and ambitious and things like that. And since they did such a great job of parenting, when the kids got older, the parents started really being spoiled brats. Like, I did everything for y'all. I bought everything for y'all. I kept y'all fly. I kept y'all good. I kept y'all. I spent all this money on. I don't see why I can't get something for me. I should have something. There ain't no reason I should be paying rent up in this flat. Ain't no reason. Have you seen elderly parents who don't get their way? Have you seen it? Have you heard it? Have you talked to them? Oh, it be on. Elderly parents. I got one. My spoiled brat parent. She will throw a guilt trip. Yeah, let me tell you about my spoiled brat parent. The only one I got left now. I can't take it. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, my mom's car went down. The gear shift in her car, a gear shift on her car was stuck. It wouldn't work. Nothing wrong with a transmission, but the bushing that changes the gears from park to neutral to reverse and drive and all that. It was broken. We couldn't move it. So her car was down for a little while. So I got 2 cars. And my mom was like, so you got to go to work tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, which car are you taking? I saw where she was going with this. And I was like, well, I was going to take that car. He's like, oh, okay. She waiting for me to offer. Okay, to make a long story short, she was like, well, I'm thinking that when you didn't have no car, I let you have my car whenever you wanted it. Sometimes I would bring it to you. Other times you would come to the house, get it, and you brought it back whenever you was finished with it. I ain't never rush you. I ain't never press you about gas or nothing like that. But for years, when you wasn't driving, I always made sure that you had my car to drive. So I was just thinking that, if you have 2 cars, then maybe you would let me drive one. What could I say? She was right. I was almost pissed off that she was 100% right. I said, first I was like, well, no, because my cars ain't easy to drive. They personal cars. I was telling the truth. I was like, well, you're going to be calling me wondering how you do this and how you do that and blah, blah, blah. Because, she was like, it's a car. I need the car. I was like, hey, go ahead. Here. Go ahead. Take the car, Mom. Go ahead. Take the car. That day, the next 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 day, until she got a car. But she checkmated me. And you know what? I couldn't be mad. She was right. For a minute, I had a lapse in judgment and I forgot where I came from. And, she was right. I didn't use her car all the time. I actually, just when I had to go food shopping or something like that. But in those years I didn't have no car, she never bitched about it. I'm like, well, I need a car. I'm going somewhere, whatever. And she was like, yo, you don't even have to ask. Oh, you got the key. Just come and get the car. Let me know when you get back or whatever. But yeah. So is she a spoiled brat? Well, I don't know. I know she didn't grow up a spoiled brat because they didn't have much. But one thing is for sure, just because you don't get a lot doesn't mean that you don't want a lot. And it doesn't mean that you don't prioritize the things that you do get and set your mind on making sure that you get what little there is available. And I think she did that. Do she act out when she don't get what she want? Yes. Yes, she does. She will have a fit because from her point of view, I helped everybody. I did for everybody. I accommodated everybody. I was there for everybody. I provided for everybody. Somebody needs to do something for me. There's no reason I should suffer for anything. You know what, Mom? You right. Fuck it. You right. But you are being a brat. True shit. True shit. I think tonight I'm going to ask my mom if vagina was called cock over in Arkansas. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. TK Ray says, must have been spoiled brat saying all this, Emily. King says, this terminology is before my time. How old are you, King? Okay. Nara says, oh, yeah, it did come from down south. Okay. See? So let me find out over in Ohio, the pussy is the cock. It's the cock. I know on the West Coast, I know because I used to hear Ice Cube and Eazy-E and all of them talking about the cock. I knew what they was talking about. Captain, what you talking about? Spoiled brat seniors? Okay. King says, parents and grandparents who don't get their way. My goodness. Woo. Yes. Yes. And look, Carol says, Taki, yeah, that's me, but I feel like I deserve it. Uh-huh. Said, oh, yeah, we put that guilt trip on our grown kids. Yes, I'm guilty of it. It's probably an Aquarius thing. Probably an Aquarius thing. Not that I would know anything about it. Emily the laugh says, Mama Rose said, oh, he waiting on me to ask. Yo. I left the house. I was a spoiled brat at that time. I was salty. I'm leaving. I was like, I was mad. I want to try the other car. I knew I shouldn't have just ran out of the house. That's all right. That's all right. Her crib, her house is just about fixed back. You know what I mean? She'll be out of my hair. She'll be out of my hair in a couple of weeks or so. I'm gonna miss it though. Emily says it took you too long to offer. She had to get you. Yo, you right about that shit. Yeah. Carol said, and son, my dad always let me use his car when I didn't have one, and I had my own keys too. I mean, it is what it is. Like as soon as she said that, like that shit just melted me. Like I ain't got no defense for this shit. None. I got 2 cars. There was a time she had 2 cars. So I had the other car all the time. And hold on. There was a time I had 2 cars that was broke. One of them had a transmission problem, and the other one had it wasn't accelerating the way it was supposed to. Robbie Rob says, Omar, she shouldn't have to say anything. You should have just gave it to her once you knew her car was down. Tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. She too old to be driving anyway. Mama 80 years old. She ain't got no business being behind the wheel of an automobile. King says, yes, they turn into big babies so fast. Yes. No, it says, that's funny though. She guilt tripped you until your car was until her car. Yes, every day. And hold on, Nars. Her car got fixed last week. You think she gave me back my keys? Oh, well, let me give you a hint. No. She never even hinted back like, here are your keys. Like, nah. I need these keys. Plus, you need these keys. You never know when you might be locked out of your car one day and you gonna need me to come through. Like, Mom, I got like 5 extra car keys. I don't play. These set of keys that I pulled out are not my primary set of keys. Those are my backup keys. I keep them in my back pocket so I never get locked out of a car, so I never get locked out of a house. Those are not my primary keys, though. No. Let me see something. Let me say how come I'm I'm skipping down. A skibbity boo. A skibbity. No, so it says grew up on the west side, moved to the bus a couple of decades ago. Okay. All right. See, I don't know. Oh, Tammy G's from Akron. Okay, y'all talking. Okay. Oh, King, you 32? Okay, you're a young boy. Okay, that's what's up though. I mean, you can still play in the arena. We good. Okay. Oh. Okay. All right. Okay. Guarantee what's up. Says who? Don't worry about it. Oh, that's an age on. There's an age on driving. Yeah, when I don't want to do something, there's an age on it. When I don't want to listen, the lady is 80 years old and only has use of her left eye. The lady finagled a way to keep her license. She was scared that the DMV was going to take her license because she's slightly disabled and elderly. Yo, if y'all want to speak, y'all have to press number 1. Now, there are people on the line, but I haven't received a signal that y'all press number 1. Could it be possible that there's a glitch and y'all press number 1 and I'm just not seeing it? Is that possible? Well, let me see. Hold on. Caller with the last number 7019. Did you press number 1 and I just didn't see it? I'm going to take that as a no. All right. How about you, caller? Caller with the last numbers 4828. Did you press number 1 and I just didn't see it?
Nope.
Okay. Just asking. All right. This one is Rel. Caller with the last numbers 8125. Welcome to the Daily Go Get a Business Show. What's on your mind? Thank you for holding. What's good?
Yeah,
Are you talking about parents and spoiled brats?
Well, we're talking about spoiled brat parents, not parents and spoiled brat. Yeah, spoiled brat parents.
Okay.
Parents who are spoiled brats.
So parents. Oh, okay. So what's the thrust of the show? Are you saying that parents who are like spoiled brats, they really can't be good parents because they feel too entitled, they don't know enough about reality, they don't have patience with their kids? What's the message of the show?
Well, there's not a necessarily a direct message to the show. By the way, you got to turn down your device. I can hear feedback. I can hear my voice in the background. You got to turn that down.
That isn't me. That's probably a Black Talk Radio.
Oh, it's you.
There's nothing surprise feedback.
It's all good though. But what I'm saying is, we're talking about spoiled brat parents, in that sometimes parents are spoiled brats, and they set that example for their children. Sometimes they're spoiled brats and they are selfish. Some spoiled brat parents don't raise their children directly. Some spoiled brat parents are too busy partying, drugging, drinking, and hanging out to take care of their children. Some spoiled brat parents are leaving their kids with their parents, with the grandparents, so they can go out and do whatever they want to do or whatever. And then we were talking about some spoiled brat elderly parents who feel like they have done everything for their children, and they feel like their children should do for them. So there's a variety of examples that we're giving. We're not necessarily charging spoiled brat parents with being good or bad.
All right. But overall, spoiled brat parents are probably too selfish to know how to rear their children as responsible human beings, and as a result, they probably neglect them. So that's what I'm probably getting from it.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I think anybody who's a spoiled brat, parents or no, if they're spoiled brats, if they feel entitled, if they don't know, they don't have a sense of reality, because they think that everything should be done for them, yet they shouldn't have to really do as much for other people. And they get kind of inflamed if they're actually asked to do some kind of heavy lifting, be accountable for stupid actions and stupid behavior and stupid talk. So if they're parents, they're not really going, I don't think they're going to become enlightened all of a sudden when the baby pops out of the womb. So I think that they probably are going to be lousy parents.
Do they have to be lousy parents?
They don't have to be. I mean, if they really motivate, if they really do love their child, and if their goal is to really see the child grow up to be a responsible, strong, and self-assured adult, then they should change their ways. But that would really mean looking inwardly into themselves to find out how are they contributing to the child's bad behavior.
Okay.
If they can't do that, I would say that most spoiled brat parents don't have a clue as to how to raise their kids.
So, okay, so you're associating being a spoiled brat with the inability to be able to be a good parent? I'm not so sure about that, because the being spoiled is one thing, being a spoiled brat is another thing. You can be spoiled because you deserve to get everything that you want and people have accommodated you. The thing that makes you a brat is what you do when you don't get what you want, like acting out, like crying, like I'm pouting and really showing out. But if you have the ability to do something, you have the ability to do something. Now, just because you are a spoiled brat doesn't necessarily mean that you're irresponsible, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't compassionate and things like that. And it doesn't mean that you're not smart enough or knowledgeable enough as a parent to be able to to raise children of your own. It doesn't mean that automatically. We are talking about some negative examples of spoiled brat parents, but it's not a slam dunk that just because you're a spoiled brat that you're going to be a bad parent. There are examples, plenty of examples where spoiled brat parents weren't good parents, but it's not guaranteed.
So let me throw out my own subjective assumption. That will probably be about at least 90% of the kind of parents that you're talking about. I haven't heard the examples, but I can imagine what they would be. By the very definition of being a spoiled brat means you are selfish, that you don't want to be held accountable for your misdeeds, that you really can't think about other people, that you do lack sensitivity. So if you're a spoiled brat, even if you don't act out publicly as an adult, you don't cry and whine. Some people do, but you might do it inwardly, and you might exhibit that kind of behavior towards the person or persons who are trying to hold you accountable. So if you are a spoiled brat, if you've got that term, that means to me, you're not thinking like a responsible human being. You're thinking as a very selfish, entitled person, which means I want things done my way, not the right way.
Okay. Well, the example that you're giving is a possibility. It's just not a guarantee. That's all. Do you remember the show I Love Lucy?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, even though it was just a show, it was an interesting example of a housewife in a family. And you notice how like right. Lucy was very much a spoiled brat. The all that kind of stuff. But right. but it didn't have anything to do with her not being a good parent. She was still an effective parent, but she was just a busybody and loved the spotlight and always wanted to show off a little bit, and got a little crazy and definitely bratty when she didn't get her way. But it didn't make her mean. It didn't make her selfish. And she wasn't selfish on the show at all. Now, of course, we can say that was just TV and it was all in the script. But art imitating life is art imitating life. There is some life to it that we can draw some examples from. We may all know a Lucille Ball. We may all know a Lucy Arnaz. You know what I mean? We may know people right. like her. They're bratty. They get a little crazy when they don't get what they want. But it's not because they're irresponsible. It's not because they're bad. It's not because they're selfish. It's just that they feel like they should get what they want. Maybe they're the type that give other people what they want.
Possibly, but judging. Okay, it's a good example of taking into consideration that show. She was a crybaby. Doesn't necessarily mean she was a spoiled brat, because even though she was always saying Desi, she did accommodate Desi after a while. She wasn't mean towards the Mertzes. I don't know. I wouldn't consider her a spoiled brat, because I don't think that Desi Arnaz on the show, as her husband, always gave her what she wanted. But she was definitely a crybaby. Well, I'm trying to think of there. Oh, huh?
She only cried when she didn't get what she wanted. She didn't cry any other time.
Well, yeah. But,
she was a brat.
Yeah, but as a spoiled brat, yeah, she was. But if she were a spoiled brat, conforming to the examples that you gave and conforming to my definition, she would do more than just cry. She would always be crying. She would always be rebellious, and she would always try to find ways to get back at her husband. She was just a stupid broad who was a crybaby. She, and in terms of her parenting skills, they didn't show on the show one way or the other than if she was a good or bad. They definitely didn't show that if she was a bad parent. Because I think little Ricky turned out to be on the show anyway, to be a happy little kid. So what he turned out to be as a teenager, we wouldn't know because I don't think the show ran that long.
It ran a long time.
But I would consider him definitely a crybaby.
But in real life, Lucy, at times when Desi Arnaz wasn't working as much or providing as much, she held it down. She took care of him for years. So and it doesn't mean that she wasn't a spoiled brat.
Criticized them.
Yeah, she criticized him, but she kept the boat afloat. You know what I mean? I watched the documentary on that show and their marriage and on her in particular. It was very interesting. She took care of him. Now because he drank a lot and he cheated a lot and stuff like that, but she still tried to keep it together. They said in real life, she really just wanted to be a housewife. Honestly, that's really all she really wanted. She just wanted to be a family woman, a housewife, and have a regular life. She just happened to be funny and talented and business minded, and it goes the way it goes. But when we talk about spoiled brat parents, we are also talking about spoiled brat children. They were children of other parents when they were growing up. Who's to say that they weren't spoiled brat children of spoiled brat parents who are making more spoiled brat children? Who's to say? You know what I mean? I'm not suggesting one way or another that the buck stopped anywhere along the line, but I can't say for any type of certainty that it's all the way one way or another, or that there's a higher percentage of spoiled brat parents who are totally selfish and irresponsible versus the ones who are very loving, compassionate, and responsible and raise their children in a good way. Some parents believe in a reward system for their children, so they reward them for things that other parents wouldn't dream of. Like I said, some parents reward their children for doing well in school or for getting good grades or those types of things. Where other parents say, no, that's the job of a child. They're supposed to do that kind of stuff. You don't reward them for that kind of stuff. Well, you raise your children the way that you think is the most effective. And if that is an effective way for you to be able to motivate your children, I don't have a problem with it. But hold on a second. We have another caller on the line, and before we get on the body here, I want to take that caller. So just stand by. All right, caller with the last number is 4828. Okay. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind this evening?
So I was thinking about something that you said. Well, first of all, hello. Sorry about that.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see
you. I was thinking about something you said earlier about sometimes spoiled brat parents for spoiled children.
Yeah.
Like I have a spoiled brat parent and who was not even close to being spoiled as a child. And so sometimes people who grow up to be spoiled brat parents are that way because they feel like now it's their time, for the spotlight to be on them. Like my mother raised her siblings, and so she didn't have a chance to be spoiled like some of her siblings were. So I think that contributed to her being a spoiled brat parent, because she definitely is. I'm her only child, and if she feels like somebody's spending too much, specifically other women like friends, if she feels like they're spending more quality time with me, she'll make like little remarks and she'll pout and things like that, and just other things, little things that she'll do. But she's definitely spoiled. I tell her all the time. I call her Brat, and she seems okay with it. And my mother was one who encouraged me to be ambitious and a lot of different positive things.
Mm-hmm. Now,
So I agree with you that they aren't necessarily bad parents. Selfish, sometimes self-centered, more often than not, but not necessarily bad parents.
okay. Something you said caught my attention when you said that even though your parent is a spoiled brat, they weren't raised to be a spoiled brat. And you know, that takes me back to something I was saying earlier. What just because we don't okay, being spoiled is about getting what you want. And sometimes people think that other people are spoiled because they think that they're getting what they want. And although they may not be getting what they want material wise, they may be getting what they want in some other way. So it's still laying down the foundation of being spoiled. But remember, the brat part comes when they don't get something that they want, or something that they don't, or something that they feel like they deserve, or something that they lay claim to. It's all the brat part is all about the aftermath of the behavior when things fall apart.
Reaction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The spoiled people are able to be tolerated. The brat people are the ones like, listen, nobody should put up with this. But guess what? Some people do. So although your parent may have had responsibilities growing up, that prevented her from, just being out there being a wild child, it doesn't necessarily mean that the foundation wasn't being laid in some type of way to make her spoiled. That you have people who grew up very poor who still managed to be spoiled because they still got the most of whatever was available. You know what I mean? There are levels to this thing. And when those levels add up to being spoiled, and when the reaction to not receiving something adds up to being a brat, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter whether you're rich or poor. It isn't always the people who have the most who are the spoiled brats. It's just the people who have been accommodated when they probably should have been popped upside their head. You know what I'm saying? So, when people don't get checked, they start to feel entitled. They start to feel privileged. So, yeah. So you can still be a spoiled brat because of your experience, even if you don't have a lot, or you can actually not be a spoiled brat when people feel like you are, because you may be receiving things that they want in their lives. And they figure, well, anybody who gets those kinds of things must be spoiled because those are the things that I want. So it's just a different perspective. So now I'm not saying that your parent is a spoiled brat or grew up a spoiled brat one way or another. I'm just exploring ways that they could actually have gotten more than what was reported. You know what I mean? When it comes to being a spoiled brat, a lot of times it's what's inside that counts, So
yeah. Well, she's listening to the show. She knows she's a spoiled brat parent. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, more power to her. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm a big fan of getting my way. I'm a big fan of getting my way. Like every time I get my way, I put my lighters in the air. You know what I mean? I be cheering. I be like, you go, you fucking go, boy. You know what I mean? You did it again. You are unstoppable. I ain't mad at it. I should have my own.
Yeah. I'm gonna go along with your differentiation of spoiled versus spoiled brat.
90 seconds.
For example, used to winning certain championships. If not every year, then every other year, then they're expecting at a certain time to win a championship again. When they get it, they feel entitled to it. They're spoiled. Now, let's say after a run of about 4 or 5 years, excuse me, they don't win the championships. How they react would determine whether
60 seconds.
Brat or if they're just resigned to the fact that maybe age is taking its toll. And yeah, I mean, if a person earns a certain achievement, doesn't have to be in sports committee and getting promotions on the job, and then they're rising up the ladder at a certain trajectory, and they see it not stopping, and they continue to rise, they're going to be spoiled. Now, all of a sudden, a competition comes along, and they now have to struggle for that promotion. If they act bratty, then they're a spoiled brat. If they just hunker down and say, I'm just going to have to try a little harder now, then they're spoiled, but their time has come to
10 seconds
for at least the moment. So I'm going to agree with you with the differentiation between somebody who's spoiled and somebody who's a spoiled brat.
All right, works for me. Well, listen, y'all, I appreciate y'all calling in and coming through and adding your insight and perspective. I really, really appreciate it. We got to do these birthday shout outs and get on up out of here, but hopefully y'all come through on another day like tomorrow, because we're here every day. So if so, I'll speak to y'all then or hear from y'all then. If not, then I'll speak to y'all the next time that I speak to y'all. So y'all have a good night. I got to take you on up out of here. But once again, much love, and I appreciate y'all calling in. All right.
Thank you.
Sure. Take care now.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. So we're going to do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious July 19th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special, because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Sharon, turning 48 years old today, and Darren Stubblefield, turning 47 years old today, and Yannick Martin, happy birthday to you, and also Nikki Heron, happy birthday to you, and Vic Michael Robinson Rogers, turning 46 years old today, and Madison Hart, happy birthday to you, and last but not least, Treese Whitley. I want to say happy birthday to all of you, and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious July 19th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, the rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing, you do your thing. Y'all represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember. First of all, I want to say what's up to my love, Fly Felicia, my girl Lisa. Yeah, I said Milwaukee stand up all day. Yo, man, being a spoiled brat parent, we've all seen it, even though we may not have seen what we were seeing when we were seeing it. Hopefully y'all get a little better perspective on what we may have been looking at, viewing, witnessing, observing. Now, what can we do about it? We know that we have spoiled brat parents. What do you do about the spoiled brat parents? Well, hopefully, if they are irresponsible spoiled brat parents, we can reform them. We can inform them. We can make them do better. We can get to them before they get to the kids in a negative way and raise those babies in the wrong way. Either another spoiled brat or a resentful, neglected child that has essentially been emotionally abused. We don't want that. We don't need that. When you cut your arms, you know you bleed that. It's gonna be okay. We do this thing to the break of the day. And I say there isn't really anything wrong with spoiling your child. What they say, spare the rod, spoil the child. Well, if your child deserves to be spoiled, if they do everything that they're supposed to do, and they are obedient and receptive to your rearing, I mean, what are you holding back for? What are you holding back for? The real problem comes when you have rebellious kids who don't want to do nothing and are super selfish, and you still reward them for their irresponsible, selfish, and really, really negative behavior, and the behavior that may set a really poor example for the other children that may come under them in the case where they may be the oldest child. Listen, man, I wanted to thank y'all for coming through, man. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all back to life. Please make sure that y'all hit that like button, share the show, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. I have had a blast tonight. Thank y'all. This is just what a Monday night needed. So one day down, y'all. Down. All right, y'all. So Blog Talk, I'm going to get you out of there. I say peace.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
And for my Instagrammers, Fire Slammer Jammer, thanks for letting me come through and rip off my grammar. And for my YouTubers, yeah, y'all know how we doobers. I see y'all tomorrow because you know how we doobers. And rock him and say peace. Peace, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to share the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right? Peace. Oh, shoot. I ain't getting what I want. I'm about to start. Oh, damn it.